Hi, my name is Nate Mullens. I am a sophomore at North Carolina State University, and I am studying biomedical engineering. I am also a varsity athlete here at the school. I am on the men's swim team. All right, so let's get into these questions. First question: how large are the classes? So for gen eds here at North Carolina State, classes range from about 150 people to 250 people. My chem class, Chem 101, was 250 people, and then a couple of my other gen eds were 100 people. Excuse me. But now that I'm in my major classes, I'm looking at roughly around 75 people is my biggest class right now. And then my labs are only about, I'd say, 15 to 20 people. So labs are a lot smaller than classes. Next question: are the professors accessible outside of the class? So here at NC State, every professor and TA has to hold office hours. So no matter what, there are office hours available for students to go to, which is really nice. Another cool thing about NC State is that in lectures, the professor has to teach, so no TA is allowed to teach here at NC State. The TAs are only allowed to teach labs, but during lecture, the professor has to be the one teaching. So they have to hold office hours, and I have not run into a professor yet who has been stingy with their office hours. They are always available through email, and they're always willing to help if you want to set up an appointment. I've gone into, since I have a pretty busy schedule, I've gone into some pretty wacky office hours at, for example, one time I went into office hours for a professor at 7 o'clock in the morning just because that's the only time I was available, and they said they would go in and meet with me then. So that was really nice. All right, next question. How much freedom do freshmen have in choosing the courses? So being an athlete, going in my first semester, I had my athletic academic advisor pick all my classes for me. I just told her, these are classes I want to be in. She said, these are classes that you need to take freshman year for your major. I said, all right, let's see if these line up. A lot of them matched, some of them didn't. So she said, this is an easier class. Take this class. We want your GPA to be higher. And so I took some, first semester freshman year, I took environmental sciences, which I was not a great class for me, but it was a pretty easy A, and that's why I was in it. So my athletic academic advisor, she was the one who kind of picked my schedule for me and said, this is how it is, this is what you'll do first semester. And then second semester, I got a lot more freedom, and I got to just pretty much make my own schedule, pick my own schedule. But being an engineering major, they do have a pretty set path for you to go down, and you have to get quite a few prereqs your freshman year, so I did have freedom in the sense of picking the time slot, but I didn't have too much freedom in the sense of actually getting in classes that I want. But sophomore year, I've had a lot more freedom with picking my classes because they're all classes that I want to take now, but they're only offered at specific times, so I'm once again back to almost having it, the time slots picked for me based on what's available. All right. Are students usually able to take their first choice courses? So once again, being an athlete, it's really, really nice because I get to enroll before any other student. So I am almost guaranteed to have the exact class that I want at the exact time that I want. The only thing that hinders it is There can't be too many athletes in one class. It's called being hot listed. So athletes can only make up 25% of population of a class. So if a class is, quote, hot listed, then they'll start kicking the freshmen out and they'll start kicking sophomores out all the way up until it's exactly 25%. How's the Wi-Fi here? The Wi-Fi is excellent. I have never run into a problem. It's always up and always going, and it's actually pretty speedy, which is really nice. You know, I've traveled to a couple other colleges just being on travel team, and some colleges are not the best with it. But here at NC State, I've never had a problem. How easy is it to change a major? So your freshman year, you don't have to declare. Sophomore year, you don't even have to declare here. And so changing your major is pretty easy if you want to do it in the engineering college. But if you want to move to the business college, it's really not that bad if you're going from engineer to business. But if you're going from business to engineer, you have to get a whole lot more prerequisites, which that can be challenging sometimes. But most of my friends who have gone from engineering to business, and they say it's the smoothest, easiest transition they've ever made, and that they encourage me to do it quite a few times when I'm quite annoyed with my homework. So, all right, that leads us into the next question. How many hours of class do students typically have in each week, and how much homework outside of class? So, how many hours of class do I have each week? So I'd say anywhere like 10 hours or so. 10 to 15 hours, anywhere in there. That's including labs and whatnot. So sometimes labs can go really long and can take up a full 3 hours, and other times they can go pretty short and only take about 25 minutes. Just depends on what you're doing in the lab that day. But yeah, I'd say a solid estimate is about, I'd say closer 15 to 17 hours is more like it, about how much I spend in class myself. I don't like online courses, so I don't do those. I like being in person. So in-person classes, I'm roughly 15 to 17 hours. Then how much homework outside of class? Freshman year, I would say I was spending about, so I had mandatory study hall hours. So when I go into a place called CASE, Academic Center, I have to sign in and sign out. So it was really, really easy to track my studying, because that was my favorite place to go freshman year to study. It was really easy, and it was just, that's where I'd go to study, because it was on campus, and there's little study rooms. Case Academic Center is the center for student athletes to study at. So only student athletes are allowed there, and I would average between 20 to 22 hours every single week of just being in there, studying, doing homework, tutoring. I get tutoring there. So it's a lot of just being at CASE is freshman year. But sophomore year now, I'm more than halfway through the semester, and I would say that I am putting in about solid 30 hours of homework. Biomedical engineering here on NC State's campus is revered as one of the hardest majors to get into, and then one of the hardest majors to graduate from, just because it's such a competitive edge or a competitive field to get in. And then once you're in, they expect extremely high grades, and you just to be only a biomedical engineer and just love it and just go all in all the time. But yeah, so it's a pretty tough schedule, and then to throw on top of that about 20 hours a week, every single week of training. So the NCAA regulates us at 20 hours of training a week. So I get 20 hours of training in a week, and then that doesn't include my own rehab, my own um, recovery, and meeting with dietitians and all that fun stuff too. So, in all reality, my week is split up as such: about 15 hours of class time, and then between 20 hours of training, another 10 to 15 hours of recovery techniques and meetings with coaches and meetings with dietitians and meetings with compliance, and then I would say another about 30 to 35 hours a week of homework. So, pretty busy schedule. All right, where are the best places to study on campus? All right, so Case Academic Center for student athletes, that's a huge one. And then NC State has a really cool library called Hunt Library. Students love to study there. I love to study there on Sundays. It's just beautiful. There's tons of study rooms, tons and tons and tons of them. I've never gone there and not seen the first two floors absolutely full, but then you go up to the third, fourth, and fifth floor, and there's nobody there. So nobody likes climbing up the stairs. I don't mind it. So yeah, I'd say Hunt Library to study on campus is amazing. All right, academic and social environment support. All right, next question. Is there free academic support or tutoring? Is it effective? For general student population, I have no idea. For student athletes, yes, there is tutoring that is given to us for free. Anytime I need tutoring, I just need to text my advisor, say, hey, I need tutoring for this class. Can you get it for me? And it's on my schedule for the next semester. And then also for student athletes, there is a writing lab, completely free, math lab, completely free, and then science lab that they just go over whatever you need. You can go in there from basic algebra all the way up to number theory. Like, you can go anything for the math lab and science lab. They know it all. These are typically PhD students in whatever field. But yeah, so I took tutoring for a couple classes. I find it extremely effective. If you find a good tutor, if you have a bad tutor that really doesn't care a whole lot, then it is not helpful at all. And yeah, I end up dropping those tutors and trying to find another one because I need somebody who is very engaged with tutoring. There are computer labs here on campus. They're all over. They're almost in every single building. Yeah, it's ridiculous how many computer labs there are. Okay, is there career counseling? Is it helpful? Yes, there is career counseling here, and yes, it is helpful. You can go in and there's a couple options for you with career counseling. You can go to the Career Center, and they will hook you up. They'll give you connections, say, oh, this person graduated here and is still involved. Go here, email this person, do this. Go to this little section of the career fair, do this, do that, and they give you what to do and to like try and help you. And then if you go and talk to your advisor, which I highly recommend, everybody here on NC State's campus has their own advisor. They are always willing to meet. They are always helpful. My advisors are so helpful. So if you email them and talk to them about career counseling, they can really help you streamline it and help you pick classes geared toward what you want to do. I love it so much. My advisor, she's amazing. She's helped me really figure out what I want to do in my life. So I highly recommend getting close with your advisor and just talking to them. All right, research and internships. What kind of internships are available? Do a lot of students get them? Internships there are tons and tons and tons of internships, research positions, just anything you want, really. There's a lot of them. The biggest thing is you have to go search for them. They very rarely will come to you. You have to get out there and really want to search and get them. So go to the career fair first semester freshman year. Go to the career fair. That's my biggest regret, not going to the career fair freshman year. And I went this year, and I got good connections, talked to a lot of people, learned a lot about different companies that I'm already building a relationship with. And I wish I would have done it freshman year instead of sophomore year, because then it'd just be a whole nother year of a relationship building. Yeah. A lot of students do get internships over the summer. Being a student athlete, I actually train over the summer, and it makes internships near impossible. So for me, I won't be getting one, but a lot of my friends get them, and it's kind of hard to watch them get an internship and go off doing something in the field that's really cool, really interesting, that I'm kind of jealous in a way. I really want to do it, but I love swimming, and I want to do it for as long as I can. So being a D1 student athlete has its perks, but it also has its drawbacks. So not being able to get internships and whatnot it's really hard, but it depends on what sport you play too. So if you end up going and play a sport where you have a big off season, then you can get an internship. But if you end up playing a sport like myself, where you don't really have an off season, internships are near impossible, just because of how demanding schedules are as a Division I athlete. All right, extracurriculars. So for me, I don't do a whole lot. My week is insanely busy. It consists of waking up at 4:47 every single morning of the week, except for Thursdays. It's my one day to sleep in. Even Saturdays, I have to wake up at 5 in the morning. I get 13 minutes to sleep in. Woo! So yeah, and then I have practice, like I said, every single morning, except for Thursdays. Then I have practice in the afternoon, every single afternoon. Yeah, so it's pretty jam-packed in there, and then throw classes, studying, doing homework. I don't do a whole lot, because when you're waking up that early, you gotta go to bed early. You can't stay up late. So I don't do any clubs or anything. I know there's a lot of clubs and intramural sports and stuff to do on campus, but I don't do any of that. I just hang out with my swim team friends, other people who are student athletes, just because they understand the busy schedule, the hectic life, the sorry I can't talk, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock. People, normal students don't understand like how taxing working out is for that long every single week, and then just putting your body through everything just possible, and just beating your body up so much, and then getting up that early. There's nights where I go to sleep at 7 o'clock, and just because my body's so tired and so beat up, so I don't really have time to go join a club and go play intramural sports, which that's a big miss on the social aspect of things, but I make up for it 100% with how close I am to my teammates. My teammates and I are wildly close, insane close actually. We all call each other our brothers, and then even with other student athletes, we're just really close as a whole student athlete crew. Where we miss out on clubs and whatnot, we make up for with just doing our sport because we love it. All right. resident life, what are dorms like? The dorms, once again, student athletes get it super nice. So student athletes can only make up a certain percentage of each dorm. Where I lived was super nice. I had my own bathroom, own mini kitchenette, big living area. Yeah, it was super nice. It was big. My dorm was a old hotel complex. So just think of a hotel room. That's what my dorm was like. The laundry was free for us. There was lounges. There was shared kitchens. Yeah, private restrooms. So it was just me and a roommate, and we had our own bathroom. Yes, there are certain dorms that students want to live at. I was at one of the dorms. There's another one called Wolf Village that's super nice, brand new. Everybody wants to either get there or Avon Ferry. So, yeah, there's certain dorms that people want to get into. Freshman year, good luck getting into those dorms because the upperclassmen that want to live on campus, they get them. I live off campus now. I live in a townhome. So, after you have to live on campus for 1 year, and then I took the opportunity to move off campus. All the swimmers live in a little court together, so we all live in townhomes real close to each other that we walk to from just house to house. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. What kinds of food does the dining hall serve? Dining halls serve everything. Really nice food sometimes, really, really bad food sometimes. You just got to learn what dining hall to go to for what. And then, once again, being a student athlete, I get it super nice. I get dinners Sunday through Thursday for free. They aren't a meal swipe. They aren't anything. Yeah, I just swipe my card saying I'm a student athlete. And then I get to go in, and those typically are a lot better. We get steak, crab legs, salmon cakes, like nice chicken, different types of pasta, like a whole bunch of kind of stuff that is normal dining halls don't have, which is really nice. So that's another great perk of being a student athlete, getting really cool food. And everyone, whenever I tell somebody, like, yeah, I'm on the swim team, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. How's case at night? Like, how's case dinner? Like, oh, wow. In my head, I'm like, I gotta gas it up and make sure everybody knows that it's absolutely flames. But yeah, no, it's really nice to be able to get a big, thick steak, crab legs on Thursday night, and then cool stuff like that. And plus, they make everything healthier there. So, like, they turn off the soda machine, and they turn off the sweet tea, and all that stuff. And they cook the food a little bit healthier just because they know that student athletes have to try and eat cleaner. And so, like, there's that aspect of it, too. So, sometimes we don't get desserts. Like, there's desserts at every dining hall, but ours at night. We'll get the occasional cookie every once in a while, which is really nice. But those are rare. Those nights are really rare. Do students stick around or go home on the weekends? The regular student population, I have no idea. But all my friends stick around here, even the ones that live like 5 minutes away from campus. I've never met someone who goes home on the weekends. You'll see once you get to college. Yeah, mom and dad's really nice. Going home, getting a home cooked meal, that's really, really nice. But you usually just want to be with your friends and hang out with your friends. Yeah, so what are some big campus events? A big campus event, honestly, I don't know. I don't go to them. I don't party that much. We're here to do a job, and our job is to represent the school the best way possible. And partying is not one way that a student athlete can represent the school in a positive light. I mean, so that's typically a big campus event is going out and tailgating before a football game, or basketball's huge here. Everybody loves going to their basketball games, so that's huge. Is it all right? Next question: Is it easy to get around campus or get off campus without a car? Yes, the bus system is awesome here. There's buses that literally take you everywhere, and then if you can't get there on a campus bus, just there's the city buses because we're real close to the city. Just hop on a city bus and it takes you straight to downtown, which is about a 5-minute bus ride away, and then whatever you want, you can get at downtown. There is literally everything in a city, and you can get whatever you want. So that's, yeah, getting around campus without a car, super easy. Do students work on or off campus? A lot of students actually work on campus here. It's very easy to find a job. Research assistant, TA, just library person checking out books. I don't know. A lot of people that I know that want a job have a job, and the people that don't have a job, they don't want a job. For student athletes, if you can work a job and be a student athlete, call me up and tell me how you're doing it, because that's very impressive. I have absolutely no time for a job. I know that. Everybody, like, there's not a single swimmer who has a job. Come to think of it, I don't know a single athlete who has a job, because once you become a D1 athlete, your seasons go all year round. There's a couple sports that I know that they'll give you like 2 months off in the summer for internships, but without being too mean, those sports aren't the highest ranking in the NCAA at our school. Those the lowest sports. So the more the school you go to with a more strict, we want to win an NCAA title, you'll see that those are typically more all year round training, a little bit more intense. So being a student athlete, it's near impossible to find a part-time job that you can do. All right, personal questions. Favorite class right now? I'm in a material science biomedical engineering class. It is going over a whole bunch of biomaterials and metals and ceramics, polymers, and how they all are affected in the body. And so, like, for example, how does a cobalt implant, why is that terrible for you? Why is a cobalt implant terrible for you when a let's say cobalt ceramic implant is better, way better, and won't cause cancer later on in life, 10 years down the road? So, like, we're looking at why that is, and I find that super interesting. What do you wish? A typical weekday for me. All right, I'll go through my weekday for you. So, probably one of my busiest. A typical day is wake up at 4:47, leave my house at 5 o'clock, get to the pool by 5:12 ish, because I have to park the car and then walk, because I'm not allowed to park next to the pool. That is employee parking only, and so we have to go park somewhere else, and that's like a 8-minute walk. So, yep, get to the pool about 5:12, or get to the weight room at 5:12. Start lifting at 5:30, lift till 6:30. Walk down to the pool, swim from 6:45 till around like 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that range. Get out, eat breakfast, go to class, and then I have class. Well, this semester I have class at 8:30, so I get out of the pool at 8:15, between like 8:10 and 8:15, closer to 8:10 every Monday. Get out, go to class, eat in class. I have class from 8:30 until 10:25, and then with a 15-minute break in between each class, and then I go to and then I have a little break. I go talk to my coaches, and then I have class from 11:35 until 2:40. So I eat in class again. I just tap and go. It's a way to just order food and then go pick it up later. So I do that. So yeah, I have physics and then a lab to go to, and then from 2:40 I go over to the pool from 3 to like 5:30 ish. Is practice, second practice, and then I eat and come home and start homework from like 6, and kind of depends on the day, depends on when we get out of practice, but I'll typically start homework around 6:30, 6:45, and then work until 9:30, and go to bed. Wake up, do it the next day. Is there anything I wish I've done differently? Yep, go to the career fair. I wish I could have done that. Are there things you like to change about your school? Nope, I love my school. Wouldn't want to change anything. What's your favorite sport you've discovered on campus since arriving? Swimming. Still love it. It's the best sport out there. Recommend going to, if your college has a swim team, go support them. Go watch them eat. They're pretty fun. And we don't get a whole lot of spectators sometimes. So, here at NC State we get a lot of spectators. We sell out a lot, which is really nice. But when we go to other schools, sometimes they don't sell out, and so go give your swim team a good support. You'd really enjoy it. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight on what it's like to be a student athlete here at North Carolina State University. If you have any questions, just ask Mr. Clark for my email and shoot me an email. Thanks.